Hey everyone, this is my match reaction to Arsenal 3, Southampton nil at home at the Emirates with goals by Lacazette, Martin Ødegaard, 3 goals in 3 games, and Gabriel getting the third goal for tonight's performance. 3 points in the bag, much needed, much deserved, but was it a convincing performance or should we have done better? What's going on with the Aubameyang captaincy situation? Should Aubameyang be stripped out of his captaincy? Yet another game in this season, it happened last season as well, where he failed to turn up for training and was dropped for disciplinary reasons. Watch here and more for my match reaction of Arsenal 3, Southampton nil, with brilliant saves by Aaron Ramsdale, but yet another convincing performance by Martin Ødegaard yet again. Before I go into my in-depth match reaction, make sure to like this video if you haven't already, and do make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon to be notified whenever I go live or whenever I upload my match reactions. Let me go ahead and run back that intro real quick. Hey everyone, this is my match reaction of Arsenal 3, Southampton nil. I'm going to be honest, in the first half, especially the first 20 minutes before the Lacazette first goal on the score sheet tonight, we were extremely poor. We struggled to get into the opponent's half. We struggled to be a threat. We were making really poor passes, really poor decision making, and we're really sloppy on the ball. We were slow to get into our stride, but after Lacazette's first goal, brilliant finish and assist by Bukayo Saka, we took off then and there. Shortly after, Ødegaard getting on the score sheet again, 3 goals and 3 from him. Ødegaard really stepped up tonight, and I've been a big critic of him in the previous games. And today, in the second half, Granit Xhaka and Partey stepped up immensely. And overall, this was expected against a team like Saints. So my opinion of Arteta doesn't really change. This was a much needed performance for us to get the confidence we need and to maintain that lead going into a game like West Ham. But for us to sit back and invite pressure onto us or not capitalize when we go a goal up, like previous games, like the Everton game, this feels like just paper over the cracks for me. I'll take the 3 points at the end of the day and a clean sheet deserved for Aaron Ramsdale's performance today. He wasn't tested as much in the second half. The intensity and press from James Ward-Prowse and Southampton overall in the second half died down a bit, and we got more confident into the game positively to move us forward in the second half. Lacazette's first goal was good, but overall, Lacazette stepping up today, especially since Aubameyang was dropped again for disciplinary reasons, was the time for Lacazette to prove himself and show Arteta why he deserves a good run of games for the rest of the season or for the time being until Aubameyang steps up and fixes up. For me personally, I feel Aubameyang should be dropped from captaincy and removed, stripped of the captaincy armband. Last season in the North London derby at home, Aubameyang failed to show up to training and failed to show up on time for the bus for the North London derby, and he was dropped for disciplinary reasons. I feel that him being dropped for disciplinary reasons again this season is correct, but going public yet again, and having the same reaction from Aubameyang, the same decision made yet again, it feels like Aubameyang hasn't learned from last season in terms of his mistakes, and really feels like poor leadership skills from a captaincy. From any captain in the Premier League, that's not what you want to see. And, this isn't the first time this has happened. Him being in really poor form, not being able to finish off easy chances that we get right in front of goal, missing those kind of chances. Lacazette really stepped up today. And, I know Lacazette didn't have a good performance against the Everton game, but he stepped up today and showed why, after getting on that score sheet, but also really dropping deep and constantly trying to be a goal threat against Saints. He showed the opposition what he was made for and showed Arteta really what kind of voice he has and impact in terms of being a leader on the pitch today overall. He kept shouting to bring the team together, which I really like to see, and he played more like a leader than Aubameyang has so far this season. Aubameyang, I don't think going publicly with that decision was correct from Arteta. I feel personally, if you're going to go public with that kind of decision, to take disciplinary action yet again for the second time in 2 seasons back to back, I would have stripped him of captaincy and I would have given it to someone who's more of a leader on the pitch, who actually turns up for training, and who actually puts 110% on and off the pitch. Aubameyang has not responded to missing training yet again. You can clearly see the action that Arteta took wasn't working. So for me, that comes off to poor man management skills from Mikel Arteta himself. And Aubameyang hasn't been the same since he has been dropped from the squad last season from the North London Derby disciplinary action. He really changed and really dropped immensely in terms of form. I would have even given Aubameyang the chance to prove it to Arteta and to show Arteta why, let me show you that I'm going to make up for this and take strong action against this. I'm going to step up as a team, and I'm going to prove myself to you, even though I've done foolish decisions. Now, I know some of you guys have seen the Instagram post with Aubameyang at a tattoo parlor instead of attending training yesterday, which is the reason why they took disciplinary actions in today's match. But personally, I feel, Arteta, if you're going to go public about this decision to drop Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from the squad today, I would have gone all the way out and stripped him of captaincy to show a different response, to see how Aubameyang responds to that, and whether at that point will he step up as a player and as a striker for Arsenal Football Club, because clearly we have failed to see that so far, especially in recent games. He's really been missing a lot of easy chances that a complete striker could have easily finished, or even Martinelli up front as a striker could have finished. I feel like Aubameyang doesn't act as a leader, and I feel like he doesn't show up in big games. And now, even in against a small game at home, he failed to turn up. And I feel like Arteta responding to that decision doesn't show man management skills. And I think Aubameyang personally hasn't done enough to turn around his fortunes, and it just looks like his heart's not in it, his head's not in it, and he looks so disjointed, disfocused, and out of place. Fabulous breakaway goal overall from Lacazette, but Lacazette was a constant threat tonight. But for me personally, my man of the match is Aaron Ramsdale or Martin Ødegaard. Personally, I would give it to Martin Ødegaard. Ødegaard really stepped up in the last 3 games, getting 3 goals on the score sheet. Even though he self-sabotaged himself in a previous game, he really stepped up today. For the first goal with the assist from Bukayo Saka, Ben White, Gabriel, Partey, and Tomiyasu were all involved today. Saka getting down the right and crossing the ball to Lacazette was great to see. Yet another great assist from Bukayo Saka, making it 1-0. One thing I will say that we really struggle with is urgency and intensity and tempo. In the first 20 minutes of the game today, we really struggled to be a threat to Saints, and we struggled to get into the game, especially considering we were at home. It was concerning. For me personally, going on to play West Ham, we really need to be more decisive in the final third. Against a team like Everton, we really struggled to finish our chances off, and we really struggled to handle a team like Everton that was so poor and hasn't had a win since September 25th. The second half, we were prepared to take risk, and Martinelli was playing a lot more of a central position at times, determined to win the ball back, and started to find our voices again, especially with Lacazette constantly yelling at the players to get involved and keep in their respective positions. The press from Southampton in the second half died down, especially from James Ward-Prowse. It wasn't intense as the first half, and Ramsdale wasn't being tested as much. Our confidence grew in the second half, especially. Martinelli was really unlucky to hit the post, and Ødegaard tried to get the rebound, but the shot was blocked. It would have been great to see more minutes for Pepe as well. I know he made an appearance today, but he didn't get much involvement into the game, didn't have much time to grow into the game. We were causing nonstop pressure on Saints in the second half, and the atmosphere changed at the Emirates in terms of the crowd getting behind these players as a team. We made a good passage of play overall, and a passage of play with a lot more freedom in the second half. We seemed a lot more respectful of the opponent in the first half, which we can't keep doing. We'd keep missing our chances in that way to capitalize on, going a goal up and taking the lead. For me, we got to take the much-needed 3 points and clean sheet, but mostly focus on the West Ham game next. That's really going to show where we stand as a team in this festive season and how we're going to perform against a team that likes to play a high-line press. I'll be honest, the first half was poor for me, but a much more controlled second half. I really enjoyed the tempo of the game a lot more, especially compared to the recent games. We haven't had intensity, urgency, or tempo like that. It was great to see. I felt like we were more efficient on the ball today in the second half. Our possession led to chance creation, and we were able to finish those chances off Overall, it was an important win, and I'll take those 3 points in the bag, as well as a clean sheet for Aaron Ramsdale. Ramsdale made some good saves today, but he wasn't tested much in the second half. A really dominant display, much needed performance, stepping up in that second half as a team, as a cohesive unit. And, even our midfield stepped up today with Xhaka and Partey improving in the second half. I would like to see that more consistently in a 90-minute basis, though. But it seems like that's a big ask. But one thing I will say is going on to play West Ham next, I want to see how we do as a team. I don't want us to buckle and crumble under pressure. I want us to build momentum, intensity, pace, and tempo from minute 1 to minute 90. But as always, up the Arsenal. We got the much needed 3 points. And come on, you Gunners. Take care, everyone, and let me know your thoughts of the Arsenal versus Southampton game in the comments down below. Adios.